Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of African Talking Sports Podcast with your regular host, Al Banter, Ty, and our newest member of the band, Drinco, the Leeds, the Chelsea, the Madrid fan. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
You introduce yourself?
No, people know who I am.
Oh, so they don't know
the,
us.
the biggest scout of talent in
Oh,
the football
Jesus.
world. But here we go.
We're doing
Ah,
good. I'm good. I'm good.
Drinko, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm just, I'm happy to be back, ready to discuss. Try to find out why Arsenal couldn't score in 87 minutes, but we
Uh,
gotta,
Well,
we gotta talk.
thank you for jumping the agenda.
Madrid
But
won again this long weekend.
Starting
yes,
early.
early pop. Al Banter, what's going on, man?
Oh, it's all good on this end. I'm just, enjoying this guy and his Arsenal stuff going on. But I'm gonna get him. You know how I do.
you
All right.
We here. It's all
you
good.
waiting? You patiently waiting for your time, huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
as always.
In addition to our normal review of the Premier League and preview of the Premier League, we have a small segment today that Drenko is going to premiere on the show, where he's going to do a small, a quick analysis of the other European, the top three, top four European leagues. He's going to give a snippet of how the teams are doing, how they position, just so our viewers have an idea. So Drenko, we'll get to that later on in the show. But first, we have the last 2 weeks has been kind of controversial in the Premier League with refereeing decisions, and we discussed that at length over the season. We've discussed that, and also we've had another controversy where because of COVID, there's no home and away leg in the Champions League anymore. So a lot of the games will be played on neutral territory first, because we're not all have the time to discuss all of this. So what we want to do is I would just ask two people or one or two people, and then ask the other person another question. Ty, first of all, what's your take on the referees and the abuse they're receiving online, and apparently threats into their families and everything like that?
You deserve it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. But I mean, fans will always take it to where it does not need to go with these threats and stuff. Half of these things they won't say it to nobody's face. There, most of them are kids. Not all of them are kids, because you got grown folks behaving that way too. Is a sport. I know we're passionate about this sport, but separate that from personal lives. Before social media, there was abuse in the stadium, but people would just, the crowd would get on the referee, boo, cuss, and that's the end of it. You go home, case closed. Oh, once in a while you get like letters, but that's when people are going to the extra length. You get letters coming to you with death threats and stuff, like when Overebo ref the Chelsea and Barcelona game, he got death threats through letters and stuff. But it wasn't as prevalent as it is now with social media. Social media is making it crazy, where you got anybody abusing anybody, and the social media platforms not doing anything about it. Lately, they started taking steps because the FA, FIFA, UEFA, everybody's complaining to them and appealing to them to do things. So they started, like, I think last week or so, they arrested some dude that abused one of the that abused on the Southampton player, the guy who had the penalty, the guy
Yeah.
who not the penalty, the red card. They arrested him and then they released him on bail and doing some investigation. So they're pressing on it. A couple of owners pressing on it, but you can't abuse people. You can't abuse people like that. Say your facts, go online, vent, do what you got to do, and we'll move on. That's all. That's all part of the sports. We know English refs are horrible. They will continue to be horrible until drastic steps are taken, but don't abuse them. I
All
mean,
right. It looks
that's
like for you,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a given. Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Jinko.
yeah, you know, and I agree. I fully agree that it's just sports. There's no need to threaten people, family, and people lives over a soccer game. But in the same token, look at the Chelsea Sheffield United game. It was a penalty, right? The ref did not blow.
Mm,
About two or three plays developed after that penalty should
mm.
have been called by the ref.
And they brought it back.
before VAR took a decision and brought it back to a penalty. Now, if I'm a Sheffield United fan, I'm pissed off.
Oh yeah.
I'm pissed off because the ref should have made that call and then let VAR decide whether his call was right or wrong. But he
But
should have made
the
a call
linesman
at
didn't
the
even do
time.
nothing too, right? The linesman didn't even wave his
The
wave
last man
flag
didn't do
either.
nothing either. Yeah, so so it's bad that the ref got it wrong. The VAR had to wait until after 2, 3 plays before they call back for a penalty. So
Yeah,
those kind of things you got to get it right because those are the kind of things that will piss the fans off.
yeah. I think we all agree over the last few weeks that in England it's such a big problem that the other leagues. Somebody posted a video this week of something horrendous that happened in Germany too, but it's not consistent. There. It's not as bad as England. Al, you have any input on?
Yeah, I mean, I think all you guys, you're saying the right things. I don't, you know, first of all, the disclaimer here is that we don't condone bullying or threatening anybody, and not only the person, but especially when you start to cross the line and then start threatening people's families. We do not condone that. I think every one of us here against that. Having said that, um, I mean, I blame the FA for a lot of these things. Let's get real. You had a problem in your first season of VR. You had a whole off season. You're not playing football yourself. While the players are playing, you could be in the background fixing some of this stuff, working on it, seeing how best you can get rid of a lot of the easier stuff, the low hanging fruits, and try to fix the game, so that it don't be a problem. But guess what? You enter into the second season, and it's worse.
It's worse than the first season, no doubt about that.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
yeah. So I blame the FA. And then look at what happened with the Mike Dean situation. You know, you overturned two red cards from one ref, but you did nothing to the ref. No,
Yeah,
no
and he's
punishment.
probably gonna get games this weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't fans get mad?
Well,
at
he
stuff
said
like
he
that?
said
He
he said he
withdrew, I
will not
think.
take the EPL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
if he
said he will
had
not take the EPL game this weekend. He only did the
because
FA
of the
Cup
threat.
game.
But
Because and guess what? Those threats only came, if I'm mistaken, you guys can correct me, but I believe those threats only came after the two red cards were overturned by the FA. Think about it. There where the problem lies.
I mean,
Yeah.
as unfortunate as it is, I mean, I'm just talking from a realism point of view. I'm surprised Mike Ding have not gotten abused
In the
or
streets, yeah.
harmed earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying somebody should do it. I'm just the way Mike Dane moves, the stuff that he does. Well, it's been like decades. Forget about years. It's been decades. We're watching games like the early 2000s. Mike Dane making Frank Lampard kick penalty 3 times because
Yeah.
the opposing team was encroaching. If the opposing team encroaching, give them a card or a award to go, move on.
Yeah.
Like stuff he was doing, like that art that was he the one who ref that Arsenal and Chelsea game, that 6-1 game?
I don't remember, but I know he
Like
ref one other game with Arsenal and Newcastle back in like 2011.
man,
He pissed me off so badly in that game that
Mike Dean
it's
always like every time he refs a game, it has to be about him. Like
Yeah.
it never fails. Every single time he refs a game, the game can be the most boring, dull game. Mike Dean will insert himself in that game somewhere, somehow. He'll find a way to put the spotlight on himself. You got to
I
refs
said
that.
this the other day. I said this the other day and just cut to the chase. He's the worst of the bunch.
He is.
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah, Mike Dean
He
is the
still
worst
has
of
a
the bunch.
job, refing games.
He is. 'Cause, I mean, you had other people making mistakes like Clattenburg, but Clattenburg's a decent ref. I mean, he made a couple of mistakes in games. He's a decent ref. The best of the bunch, honestly, we used to get on him, but Howard Webb was the best of
Yeah.
the bunch.
he was.
He was
He
a
really was.
very
He was.
good ref.
Yeah, we used to
We,
tease
we,
him
we
for the
used to tease him in the
United.
Man U thing, the
Yeah.
bias. I mean, we know he's a Man U fan, but
Everybody makes mistakes.
but that dude was good.
Yeah.
But they're especially bad since VR. Okay,
The
VR
other
was
the,
supposed to
the
make
other
football
person,
better.
yeah, the other person who was good, but then they started like faltering. Is Mike Oliver, the younger guy.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that.
He used to,
I
he
was
used to be
about to say
good, but then
that.
he started like
He was
making
really
like
good when he started. Yeah.
he started even making
So,
like weird
so then that question,
decisions and
that begs the
calls.
question: of do these refs get instructed to screw the game up?
No, what happens is that whatever the decision
Uh,
is, they have an association, a ref association apparently. The referee association apparently backs them no matter what errors they've made. So it becomes almost like a union thing. Instead of actually looking at the individuals and their mistake and how they can improve and correct it, it becomes like a union thing. Whatever the decisions they make, they back them. So it doesn't improve.
No, but did you see the? I mean, I know y'all can call me conspiracy brother and all that good stuff, but did you see the article? Well, it wasn't an article; it was a tweet that came out from a former ref of the EPL that said he used to get told to act like he don't see things that he sees.
Was that real though? Was it?
I thought that was
Yeah,
fake though.
but
I
Me,
let's
thought it
let's
was fake.
me.
let's look at it. That
Me,
could
I
be
say it's
real, though.
real. It's real.
It's
That could be
possible.
real
It's
because let's
possible.
look at it. Look at this. Look at it this way, and look at across every sports, not just soccer. The bigger
Oh,
teams get the
yeah,
calls in their favor. The bigger
Yeah,
things get the calls in their favor.
yeah,
The smaller things,
usually.
the smaller thing is at a disadvantage,
the
and it got
biggest,
to
the
be
bigger
coming from.
teams are bigger stars, bigger stars,
Yeah,
basically.
it got to be coming from somewhere. So it
It
could be
is.
instructions that are passed
Yeah.
on to them.
Scott, I know Scott would never believe me. He always say I'm plotting something. I'm bringing Al along to plot with me. But I'm telling you, man, these things exist. It's not that.
No, I mean no. The way how some of this stuff happens is like you have to start thinking on that line.
And you can't believe it. You'd be like, how?
I
The
just
whole
think
world is seeing this, and you guys
I
cannot
know
see this. You took it to the next review, and the VAR2 says no. And then you say
I
no,
know
and we all looking at this. Come on, man.
during Sir Alex time, I know they used to tell the refs what to do. There was no way that Man United were getting 10, 11 plus minutes after the game for
it
extra
was
time.
more like
There was
six,
no
seven
way.
minutes.
There was no way.
It was average like seven-ish.
There was no
Seven.
way.
Yeah, they
That's
would be
average.
keep playing until
That's average.
United
So there's an all
score.
out. There's an 11-minute all out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, but it was always like solid extra time. Like it don't matter what happened in the game. Nobody can get injured. You can play it a fast game. You will still get 6 or 7 minutes
6, 7
As
per
minutes.
long
game.
as United was down, they got those extra
It's
minutes.
crazy.
Until
It's
they
crazy.
score. All right, man. I was going to bring about the neutral sites, but we are eating a little bit of our time, so maybe
I mean, we got time.
we'll revisit that next week.
We got a few minutes to get
You
into
You
the
sure?
neutral
You
sites.
sure?
Yeah, we got
Well,
time. We got time.
all right. What's your take on this whole thing? I know it's not something that's planned, but it's not UEFA or FIFA. It's more like each government have their own regulation on who they can
It's
allow
the
in their country.
yeah.
So a
Well,
lot of,
They changes in the venues and stuff.
yeah,
the reason for them doing it is to get around the whole COVID restriction when it comes to traveling from one country to another.
yeah.
I think that's the main reason why they're doing it. But how is it going to affect the teams? Uh, there are no fans in the stadium anyway if you play at home.
Mhm.
So I don't know how much that's going to affect them. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's just how they're going to look at their away goal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that was my big question.
That's going to come into question.
In this case, should they have home and away goals? Because
no. They
now
should take it away.
Well,
should they take it away? I don't think they're going
should
to.
take
But
it away.
they're still going to designate a team as the home team and a team as
Yeah,
the away team.
but they're not.
still
In
gonna
fact,
do
they're
that.
not home, so those
They're not
conditions
home. You
don't
can't
apply.
do that because
Yeah,
think about it.
but the neutral venue is standing in place as their home ground though because of COVID restrictions. And bottom line, it's all about it's all about the money. They don't want to lose that viewership, like the TV dollars. They don't want to lose the TV dollars. So Spain saying that people can come into their country, so they'll move it to a neutral venue. But England, they'll be fine accepting people. They're not going to do that travel to another country or somewhere else. So
They are.
no,
It looked like a lot
All
of
the English team are not playing England.
No,
They're
no, no, no,
playing
no.
They-
I'm saying for the return leg. For the return leg. Yeah, for the
Well,
return leg.
oh no, some of the return leg's not going to happen in England.
And the
No, it
reason for
will.
that
It
is
will.
the English. No, some of them are not. The Arsenal home game has
Some of them
been
are not.
moved
Yeah,
to some other place.
both Arsenal games
Yeah,
are
it's
away
away.
on neutral ground.
Yeah,
Really?
and that's because
Yeah.
those governments are telling their players you can't go to that country because it has a different variant. You can't go to this country. So even
But then-
if
then
England is
the-
allowing people to land there, the country is saying if you go there, you can't come back here. When you come back, you got to quarantine for 3 weeks.
Because Chelsea return leg is now scheduled at a bridge. So they haven't changed
But who you
anything
guys
yet.
playing though? Maybe the country.
Atleti. Who play Atleti?
So maybe Spain is different. We play in Portugal.
Yeah.
So the Portugal restrictions might be different.
Yeah, in the JV league anyway, so we're not too worried
Oh
about that.
my
Oh.
goodness.
You can't afford to travel.
No,
I mean,
that is-
I think a little bit of advantage would go to if you're not traveling. That can help a little bit with the fatigue too. Some people, I mean, without fans, it does not make a difference with the crowd noise. But some people just used to their home confines. They just used to it, like, oh yeah, we're playing it. This is our home ground. We know our pitch a little bit better than the other team. A
I
slight,
was
slight advantage, but it might not make a difference in the long run based
I
on the
was
quality of
thinking
the
though,
teams.
if you I was thinking if you're gonna make it a neutral ground, make it a neutral ground across the board and make it a one leg game.
That's what I thought I was gonna do. I don't know why they kept it at 2 legs. Just make it a neutral ground, one leg,
That I would have preferred
knockout.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knockout. Who
Right.
wins? Who
Yeah,
wins
it's a
It
goes to the
good
goes to
next
system.
round.
penalties. There's no reason to have home and
Yeah, don't
away.
do home and away if
But
you want to
like you
limit
said,
COVID restrictions.
you've already answered that question.
Oh yeah, that the
The
TV
eyes
dollars,
and the
man.
sponsorship. Yeah, sponsors have
TV
to
dollars.
have certain
Yeah.
amount of time their stuff to play. Anyway, you guys want us to take a break and then come back and review the games, or how many minutes have we gone? I'm totally lost on
Yeah.
the
We
time today.
we we good. We can take a break and come back on the other side to start the reviews.
All right, all right. You know what though? No, let's hang in. Let's allow how many
That's
more
all I'm about
minutes
to
we got?
say. That's all I'm about
Yeah,
to say. That
let's
you
allow Drinko to give our Drinko, go ahead and give us the review of your top teams in Europe. Let's include that segment. And we know that we got like 9, 10 more minutes before a break is scheduled.
Oh yeah. So
uh-oh.
we'll take a look at
You got connection problems.
leagues in Europe. That would
All
be
right, Django,
Spain,
hold on. I think we
Angry
might need to
France.
go on a break for real. Hello,
We will
Django, can
let.
you hear us?
It's okay. He will reset on the other side.
Everybody
We'll
frozen.
take a break.
All right, we'll take a
Yeah,
break.
I can hear you.
Okay, welcome to the second part of African Stock in Sports. Drenko, hopefully your internet is all good. You ready to go? As we said before, Drenko is going to give us a review of some of the top leagues in Europe and work us through what's going on there, who's topping the leagues and what have you. Drenko?
Yes, folks. So we're going to introduce this little segment where we're going to look at the other top four leagues in Europe. That's been Spain, Germany, France, and Italy, and just review what the top four teams look like and what going to be their next matchups. So we'll start off with Spain. In Spain, the top of the league there is Atletico Madrid with 51 points. They've won four of the last game and drew one. Real Madrid is in second with 46 points. Barcelona is in third with 43 points, and Seville is in fourth with 42 points. Atletico Madrid, though, do have two games in hand over the
Wow,
other teams. The leading scorer in Spain is Luis Suarez with 16 goals for Atletico
mhm.
Madrid. The next match day is match day 23, and Atletico would face Granada. Real Madrid is going to face Valencia.
That's a good
Barcelona is
game.
That's a
playing
tough game.
Alaves, and Seville is playing Huesca. Um, in France, with 24 games played,
That's a lot.
Surprisingly, Lille is the top team in France with 54 points. They won all five of their last league games. Lyon is in second place with 52. PSG is in third with 51, and Monaco is in fourth with 48. So it's kind of close in France.
That's
Uh,
good.
the leading scorer in France is Mbappe with 16 goals for
That's my
Already?
PSG.
boy.
Already?
The top
Jeez.
four matches coming up for match day 25 fixture is PSG is going to play Nice, and Lyon is going to Montpellier. Lille is playing Brest, and Marseille is playing Bordeaux.
That's good.
Um, let's look at Italy. In Italy, Serie A, the top team in Italy is AC Milan with 49 points. They won four of the last five games. They lost one. Inter Milan is in second place. Juventus is in third place. Surprisingly, they're not leading the table in Italy this time around.
Thank God.
Roma is in fourth place with 40 points. Juve do have one game in hand, but that's still going to bring them up to 50 points. So we've got to see what AC Milan is going to do. So Juventus is playing on match day 22. Juventus is playing Napoli. AC Milan is at Spezia. Inter is at Lazio, and Roma is at Udinese. CR7 is the leading scorer in Italy with 16 goals. And then we'll move on to the German league. The leading team there, as usual, is Bayern Munich. They have 48 points and they won the last five. RB Leipzig is in second place with 44. They played today, so they've played 21 games, whereas the other teams have played 20 games. Wolfsburg is in third with 38 points, and Eintracht Frankfurt is in fourth with 36 points. The leading scorer is Lewandowski with 24 goals. I think that might be the top goal scorer in Europe at this point. In the top leagues.
Wow.
The top four match day 21 fixture. Leipzig is at Augsburg, which they won today with a score of 2-0. Eintracht Frankfurt is at FC Cologne, and Wolfsburg is at Mönchengladbach. Bayern Munich is at Arminia Bielefeld. So that's a recap quickly of the other top four leagues in Europe and how each teams are doing.
That was really impressive, Drinco.
Excellent, man.
Yeah,
really, I know we didn't bring you up for nothing.
The man's doing some good work. I'm happy to see someone other than PSG leading the league in France and someone other than Juventus in Italy. That just
and hopefully somebody can take over from Bayern Munich and in Germany. Dortmund is not doing too good. Dortmund is in sixth place at this point.
Before you take over from Bayern Munich, they're gonna buy a player in the
that's what I was about to say. They're buying everybody players. So
that's why I was telling Tyrone earlier. They already got a replacement for Alaba. They're gonna bring this kid over from Leipzig. They're gonna take the Leipzig defender over to Bayern Munich. They already got that deal done.
Wasn't that dude supposed to go to Arsenal at some time? Upamecano?
Yeah, they've been talking about him for years. Man, that's what never was. Just talking about him for years.
I don't know how much Leipzig can keep up. They got some really good young talent, but
that team will get rated because the
people keep buying it.
The other dude on that Kone, he's the one who plays next to Upamecano. I like him better. That's just me, my style of defending. I like him
he's
better.
Good. Yeah, there's another guy called Orban that's really good.
He gets injured a lot.
He's going to stay there. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to our bread and butter. Our home meal, the English Premier League. From last weekend, we had some really exciting games. We will start the weekend with Al Banter. How did we're gonna give you the Aston Villa at home to Arsenal? What went on with the Gunners in that game?
Well, it was one of those games that kind of started in a Drinko, don't say nothing, man. It kind of started in an Arsenal-like fashion, in less than 2 minutes.
Just a Villa score in the first 3 minutes.
90 seconds.
Cut to the chase.
But it kind of started in a somewhat Arsenal-like fashion with less than 2 minutes. Villa was on the score sheet. I'm not sure what Cedric Suarez was trying to do when Gabriel stopped the first attack. Gabriel stopped it and hit the ball towards him, and I'm not sure if he wasn't paying attention or if he panicked and tried to just quickly hit the ball back, and he didn't really touch it out hard, and Suarez came and got it and took use of the opportunity and slided to what's his name or Oli Watkins, who I think that ball deflected off of somebody, right?
Yeah,
it deflected off of somebody before it got to an Arsenal player before it got to Watkins.
Yeah. And then it deflected
again on the way on.
It deflected. I think holding.
Yeah. I mean, good. I think the goal Ryan, Matt Ryan was. I think he was good on the day. I had no problem with him. It was just an unfortunate incident. But I'm gonna go down and as you go on in the game. I think what's his name? Martinez made a very nice save on that Xhaka free kick. I mean, I think that was a beautiful save because it was going for that top corner. I think, and I will go again. Is the same thing with the referee thing? I know you guys would disagree with me on this, but yeah, look at him. But anyway, I believe, me personally, I think Conson, that was because he was the last man. and what's his name? Saka had a little edge because Saka was ahead of him. I'm not talking about the heel clicking thing. I think for me that one is mostly 50-50 type thing. But I'm talking mostly about what initiated the heel click. Saka has already pretty much gotten the edge, of the defender, and he actually extended his hand and pulled Saka back. And then that caused a slow in Saka momentum, and then followed by the click of the heel. But I thought something should have been. I didn't think the yellow card justified that foul because that was the last man. Saka had an edge, and if he hadn't pulled Saka back, Saka would have broken a free, and it would have just been him and the goalkeeper. So I just thought the yellow didn't really justify that play. Again, then the other play again, which I can kind of look at that Saka play and say, okay, but the one I don't get is the Martinez one with Laka. Martinez actually pulled Laka in the box away from the ball. He wasn't going for the ball. Martinez never attempted to save the ball. He actually went and grabbed Laka, put his arm around Laka, and pulled Laka back towards him. And Laka couldn't get towards the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we're not supposed to do rebuttal right now, but come on, man.
No, that should have been a
I'm gonna say
penalty.
something. I'm gonna say something.
No, that is a penalty. You
No, it
don't
wasn't.
pull the
No, it
player.
wasn't. Do not do if you're gonna go stand in front of a goalkeeper to block his path of running from a ball, the goalkeeper got it right away in the middle of that says, yeah, boss. Like I was like I was right under him.
If Arsenal had scored on that play, they were going to review it to see whether he was blocking it back.
You got to remember the ball.
He wasn't going towards the ball. He was under Martinez. He was under Martinez.
His eyes was, because Martinez pulled him. His eye was never on Martinez. I'm serious.
Okay, so
I got a question.
So you trying to tell me that a player can fake and move the eye from somewhere?
No, Ty, it was never.
That wasn't a penalty, bro.
Go ahead, Drinco. Ask your question. Go ahead, Drinco. Ask your question.
Hold on, let me just finish, and then you guys.
No, quickly. Why Arsenal scoring 87 minutes though? That's the excuse.
No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying those two moments.
That sounds like you're making excuses, man.
No, because it's not an excuse. That's what I saw in the match. That's what I feel, or I felt should have happened. That was a foul on Lacazette in the box. It should have been a penalty.
It was not.
The Konsa was the last man. He pulled Saka back. That's something, something harsher.
What about the actual football, Alan? What happened to the actual football?
As I said last week, when it's in your favor, it's good.
I actually didn't see the Lacazette thing.
The man is an Arsenal fan, so he's
I didn't see the Lacazette thing until I started seeing the
analysis is one-sided
on social media, but I really didn't see it at all. So we're going to the next game, and I think one of the most exciting games of the round. Everton at home to Manchester United at home to Everton, and we'll go with you, Drinco. What's your feedback?
Good thing I'm not a United fan, neither am I an Everton fan. So this is going to be fair and balanced. Unlike the previous review you heard about Arsenal from that Arsenal fan who's it's very one-sided. So the game was not a cracker, okay, from start to finish, but the game had some moments and saw some very, very, very beautiful goals. So United lined up at 4-2-3-1. Cavani was the lone striker. And Everton was at 4-3-1-2 with Ricardison and Calvert-Lewin sharing the striking duties. Cavani and Pogba missed some early chances in that game that they probably would have scored, and probably the results would have been different in the end. Everton had some real poor defending in the first half. And like I said the other day, even during the FA Cup game with Spurs, Everton can't defend set pieces. All the goals came from set pieces. And now United,
they got some tall ass defenders.
Exactly. In the United game, 2 of the goals was the result of set pieces. In the Spurs game, I think 2 or 3 of the goals were the result of set pieces. So every time Everton had a set piece, it was like, okay, look, something's going to happen. So the defending was bad. United went up in the 24th minute with Rashford crossed a long ball that measured the defender, and Cavani movement was really good. He started to go one way, and then he went back in between the defenders, and from close range, he headed the ball home. And then, of course, Pogba got injured, and he went up. I don't know what that's going to do for United. I think he was starting to get into his groove a little bit and playing better than he usually is. So that might hamper United going down the road if he's not back early. And then on the 45th mark, just at the halftime, there was a clever ball that was sent off to Bruno Fernandes, and he acted like he was going for the ball, but he let it pass. He had a very clever dummy, and it went to Wan-Bissaka. And Wan-Bissaka sent the ball back to Bruno, and Bruno saw that the goalkeeper was off his line, and that was a beautiful goal. That football right there was exceptional. And
Eric Cantona.
he measured the guy, he
That
measured
was
the
good.
yeah, he measured the goalkeeper, and he found the top left corner. That was a very beautiful goal. But then, second half the game turned around. Everton came back second half. They started on the front foot, and it paid off in the 49th minute. Decoris close scored from a very close range. It was kind of scramble goal, one of those goals, but you take whatever you get, right? And then, here's the thing though, James Rodriguez was scheduled to be substituted, right? The
Hmm.
substitute had already taken off his warm-up jersey and he was ready to get under the field. And then Ancelotti said, "No, hold on 1 second, don't go on yet." And once he said that, James Rodriguez scored like a minute after that happened, right? And that was a beautiful goal. He found the bottom right corner from outside the box. The game kind of leveled off, until like the 70th minute, and McTominay had a bottom right corner from a free kick, another set piece that Everton conceded in that game. And United went up 3-2. Everton had the final say, though, in the last um, minute of the game, basically the 90th minute. They score in the ending of the first half and they score again. I mean, they score right in the beginning of the second half and they score again in the 90th minute of the game when Calvert-Lewin again went in from close range, but this time it was from a set piece, and he broke the offside trap, and the ball came to him, and he didn't lose concentration on that. It was a good game because they had a lot of goals. It was nothing exceptional or like one team dominated the other team or anything like that. But if Everton don't fix the defending on set pieces, I think it's going to be a long season for them for the rest of the season.
You the one who said Yari may not be dependable. I told you the dude out there. Just pay attention to him. The dude is useless. He's big. He's big, and he always out of position, and he always like
I mean,
scrambles.
for,
He
for
always he
what
always like
for what they
scrambles over the ball. Just
for
what
what
just
they got to steal him though.
just pay attention. Just pay attention moving forward. I'm telling you, Yari Mina is not
I,
a
I,
really good defender.
I don't know. He's not bad, but
I'm
he's
not saying he's
not
horrible,
quick. Yeah, he's
but he's
not quick,
not
and
the best back
but
there.
neither one of the goalkeepers is good either.
Well, this guy's better than Pickford.
This
Also,
guy is better than Pickford.
He's better. Maybe he's better, but he's not
He's
that
better.
big
He's,
either.
he's,
I
I mean,
mean,
he's,
he's
both
a
of
he's
them
a
are
backup.
average.
He's a backup for a reason, but he's better than Pickford.
And Pickford used to
Pick,
be really
pick, pick,
good.
Pickford is guaranteed one or two mistakes every game, bro.
But that's the thing.
But
Once goalies start getting in the head,
Yeah.
it goes to crap.
all right, well, we'll move on to the next game, and a game that was disputed to be on the show today, but made it anyway.
Don't be
Leeds
telling the people that.
United.
Don't be telling the
Leeds
people
United.
our production meeting conversations. That's behind the scenes.
Leeds United and Crystal Palace.
Leeds United and Crystal Palace. That
What,
was
what,
actually
what?
that was a good game actually, and for the first time in the league. Maybe let me not give too much credit to this. Leeds played decent defense, but they were dealing with Crystal Palace attack without Zaha. They had I'm not even gonna look at the jersey. They had Ayo over there, basically like stinking up the joint as usual. So they weren't giving much in attack. They started to play a little bit when they brought Michi in, and Michi and Eze started doing some connections. But Leeds fashion scored nice goals, nice well work goals. The first goal came from this first was in like under 3 minutes. It was in like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Crystal Palace didn't do a good job of clearing the ball, and Leeds the ball found Harrison. Harrison being on the score sheet lately, he knows how to strike a ball. He's been on the score sheet lately. He cut to the right side and kicked across his body. Lu- luckily for Luckily for him, he had Mr. Calamity Cahill there. By the time he cut to the right side, Cahill started scooting back. I was like, oh, jeez, here we go. Here we go. Cahill started scooting back. And then when John Harrison tried to shoot, he did typical Cahill stuff and tried to slide, like to jump in front of the ball, but he actually like slid and the ball deflected off him. Guetta was already going one way and the ball like hit the roof of the net. That was 1-0 game changed. Bamford had a good chance, and I gotta give Bamford credit because when he was in the Chelsea academy, these kids are young. You can see
Oh,
you can see promise in them, but sometimes you're like, it won't amount to nothing. He left the Chelsea academy, went to Middlesbrough. He went to a couple of championship clubs, and then he came back, and then they got rid of him. But he got the Leeds. I didn't think his movement was going to be as excellent as it is now. If you watch him playing, he knows how to anticipate. He knows how to move for a striker. Like he had a nice header that when I went to the front post, the way he moved for that, the defender was like the defender had the lead on him, but he stepped on the defender and paced him across his face, had the ball out, but the goalie made a beautiful save. He missed that one. Second chance he had, he could have done a better job, but he was going for the smarts. He was trying to chip the goalie. He played the ball around around the last man. He played the ball around him. It was off to the races. So it was like defender was on one side, goalie was coming. He tried to like chip it with the goalie, but he scooped it too much. It like went all the way with the crossbar. Took that into the half. Second half started. Same way they scored early in the first half. They scored early in the second half again. Oh, actually, I missed something. I gotta go back to. You're gonna think I'm peeking on Cahill, but Rafinha, man.
I know you are.
Rafinha was the best player in that
Rafinha,
game.
Rafinha wanted to send Cahill to early retirement in that game. There was a skill he did on the edge of
I
on the
saw
edge of
that.
the
I saw
penalty
that.
box.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's like
They had that thing
kind
on
of did
on
a back
YouTube.
heel,
It,
and then
it was like
went around him.
it was like elastical. It was like
Was it after
elastical.
that game that a Roma came up or City wanting to scoop him up in the summer?
Oh jeez, Craig. Oh
It's
silly.
No. I think was it Liverpool or City?
who
I didn't.
Rafinha?
Yeah,
I
one
heard
of them.
City. I heard
City,
City.
eh? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said that, yeah, but he did that.
He's
He
really
did that
good.
elastico and nutmeg Cahill. Cahill was like, I mean, I ain't gonna let you go past me. Cahill got the foul on the edge of the box. That was a pretty good skill. But early in the second half, they scored again. And this time it was Bamford on the end of that. It was a tap in for him. He made it look easy, but it wasn't the easiest of tap ins. It was all up to his movement again. When Rafinha initially kicked that ball, Bamford was like outside the 18-yard box. He was outside the box. Guetta, the goalie could have parried the ball like for a corner kick, but he punched the ball back into the field of play. His defenders trying to turn it back to score, not to score, to clear the ball. Bamford ran in that box and tapped it home. Uh, Michi came in. They had a chance. They had a chance to pull back. Michi had a good run, play the ball up for Easy. Easy didn't have his shooting boots on. Squared out over the bar. And then Harrison missed another goal. He had like another good hit that hit the crossbar,
Yeah.
went over. And I mean that was the game, but Lee had more of the chances. Lee had another chance at a goal, but it was a defender who basically closed his eyes and tried to head the ball, and the ball didn't even go towards goal. It went like almost back to the throw-in line when he did that header. But it was a good game. It was an excellent defensive display for them. I gave them that. I want to see them do it against a bigger, more attacking team though, to
But
see how they will hold that defense.
We're
by the
playing them
way,
this weekend, so
that was Bamford 100th career goal.
oh, that's
It's
good.
impressive.
Oh, that's
Impressive.
good. So, Leeds United fan, Al, any one of you guys got anything to say about that game, or we moving on to the big one?
Let's move on. I mean, I'm not.
Let's move on, man. That's Leeds. We'll come and run. We'll run, and this
Well,
weekend we'll come here again.
the biggest clash of the weekend was Liverpool at home versus City. Liverpool hadn't lost at home in like what 3 years, and then they finally lost a game about what 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And City had now won at Liverpool since 2003. So I thought, well, the way things are going, things has been going this season for Liverpool. I thought it was going to be a really tough game, but the whole game came down to one person and one person only. Allison. I don't know what happened to him in this game, but
You got too confident.
if the Brazilian coach was watching this one, I think he finally made a decision. He's number one, or maybe he just had a really bad day at the office. But he just made too many errors. I think he made like at least 4 or 5 errors in this game. He made two on one play, and then I heard geeks talking about, what about this man? And then
The two email one play led to a goal.
yeah, let's go. But yeah, City is not even playing with striker. They're using Riyad Mahrez as a false nine. That Phil Foden picking on the right, he was massive, man. He's really good, and
He's
Yeah,
good.
he's playing well.
good.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's
And
one of the biggest-
they're still missing De Bruyne, right?
Yeah, the man hurt.
De Bruyne is hurt.
Still out.
Aguero
and,
still hurt.
Foden is
Aguero
still
hasn't
out.
been
Is
fit all
Aguero even
season.
going to ever play again?
I think he's
And-
gonna
and-
leave. They haven't renewed his
And
contract.
Pep don't have fit in
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus comes on
That's
sometimes.
our boy.
Yeah, sometimes he comes and sometimes he goes. But in the middle, I think the weakest Liverpool was at the back. They got Henderson playing center back. In the middle, they had this kid Curtis Jones playing, and Thiago Alcantara hasn't really. You and I were talking about that. He hasn't settled in. He had
Yeah.
Curtis Jones, Thiago Alcantara, and Wijnaldum. They got totally eaten up by the City midfield. The game in the first half, I feel when it started, Liverpool had the early chances, but they didn't put it away. Firmino had a really, really good shot. Ederson put it over the bar, and then towards the what was it? 24th minute, Mane also had a header that was saved, which I thought he should have scored. And in the 30th minute, the penalty from Gundogan, yeah, way over the bar. They haven't really been good. Apparently, City, I don't see as many Manchester City games, but I saw this one, and apparently they haven't really been prolific at the penalty box, but they miss it. And then for the 8 minutes, Sterling roasted the begin Trent Alexander. He just kind of slid past him a little bit, and then I think it was Phil Foden who kicked a shot. Good again, it fell to him. He scored. From there, the controversial. Yeah. Well, before even the mistakes, the Salah penalty, which I don't think was a
Very
penalty.
so.
Yeah, really. So I mean, nowadays, every time there's contact in the box, it's a penalty. The football is not like that. It shouldn't be like that. That's nowhere.
What? I don't.
I was
So you said okay. We get it. The penalty was soft.
No, I was watching
but he
Leipzig
pulled-
game
No,
today.
what's
I was
that?
watching Leipzig game today, and there was a penalty that was similar to that, and I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "That is not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
It's not. Not everything
That's-
can be a penalty."
It was-
That's
a tug of arms.
back in the day, they'll be physically fighting, struggling for position, and when you fall in the box, if they didn't physically kick you, it was not a penalty. That for me is not a penalty. But nowadays, I don't know where they go.
And the way Salah fell, you would think that somebody like kicked his two legs from under him.
There's
like,
no way they
jumped in the
prevented
air.
him. They never prevented him from the defender never prevented him from scoring at all.
But
He
he's
had
known-
actually
Salah's
passed
a known
him. He was
diver.
in front, and then he threw himself to the ground just from feeling the man's hands. So
He's
I don't
used to
think
doing that. That's not his first time. So
that was a penalty. Anyway, he knows how to score penalties. He dispatched it very well. But then the second goal, like we said, double error from Allison. Bam, goal. Another error from Allison. Bam, goal.
that's the team
Sterling.
music.
Yeah, man. I mean, I understand their team plays from the back, but there are days where it is not working. What do you do that day?
Well,
What is the instruction? What's the backup plan from the coach?
But you don't even have the
Well, I
you don't have the defenders to play from the back anymore.
Exactly,
Like
and-
all of them hurt.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Liverpool is makeshift. You can't play Henderson and Fabinho in the defense. Those
Yeah,
are two
like two
midfielders.
midfielders, yeah.
Those are the people that protects Liverpool, right? Those are the people
Yeah.
you need in the midfield. With Henderson not in that midfield, Liverpool is a disaster.
Where
you
they
need
had the-
Henderson, you need Wijnaldum, and you need Fabinho in that midfield. Somehow you need them in that midfield.
Yeah,
But then-
Anderson was the
but
one
then-
who used to put in the work, a lot of
and-
running around.
And they don't have the defenders. They just don't.
You bought somebody.
And-
They
and-
ain't
yeah,
they ain't
but-
betting yet.
Klopp he was not going to trust the new boys with
Not in the
with a big
first game. Not in the first game
Yeah,
with
with a big
that.
game, he
Not a
was not
game
going to
of
trust
that
them.
That's why I
magnitude.
said. That's why I said they ain't betting yet. They ain't betting
Yeah,
yet.
Oh
so
So
yeah,
it's
getting used though.
I don't know if it'll make a big difference anyway, because I heard some negative stuff about the guy they got from, was it Shaka?
Caban or whatever his name was.
People will judge the man. Let's see the man play and see what he's going to do
It all
himself.
depends on coaching, man. It's all,
Yeah,
it all
yeah, and
they
right
must have
now,
seen something and that make club go and buy him.
Well, sometimes it's out of desperation. Sometimes it's not
Yeah,
nothing. It's
I
not
think it's
anything.
more
It's
of a
just out of
desperation.
desperation.
yeah, but you gotta take what you can get, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
and the market is not that big when it comes to defenders these days. So
Ben Davis I remember him from like 5, 6 years ago. He was a decent player. If I don't know which team he was playing for, but I remember his name and I remember him playing out there. I
Are
was
you sure?
surprised.
Are you sure it's the right Ben Davis? Because they got
I'm
another. They
not.
got another Ben Davis that was playing for Swansea, and
That's
now
the
he's
one
playing for Spurs.
no, I don't know if it's the same, but the name
Yeah.
sounded familiar to me. But this begins from the championship. He went to the championship, but I know they weren't going to play him. But for me, the best goal of the game was the
Foden.
goal by Foden. Yeah,
Woo,
he definitely roasted
woo.
Robinson. I don't think I've seen Robinson roasted like that. But once they scored those two goals, it was 3-1. I don't know how much they were concentrating. Maybe they wanted to get back in the game, but roasted him and absolute top corner. I know I would cause a little bit of controversy here. Between he and Saka, I don't know who's the better player at this point, but
we're not gonna have another Deli Alley, right? We sure he's gonna be the thing.
yeah, I think no, I think he's up.
But let's be honest. I wasn't not because it's hindsight, but I wasn't as sold on Dele Alli when cause I used to watch him play. And I was like, okay, he's
What does this
decent,
guy
but
do?
the hype that they giving him, I didn't see
That's how they hype
what was in that hype. I was like, the dude got some good moments, but the way they're making him seem, he's not a player that they're describing to me. That was my thing with Dele Alli. With
So you
Foden, you
think,
can
but
see with Foden and Saka, you can see that they're true ballers. They got different things to the game. They got speed, they got dribbling, they got work rate. They got multiple things.
And Foden can play like 4-5 positions.
Yeah.
So
And
can Saka.
Dele Alli, what Dele Alli was good at was arriving late in the box to score those goals, and then they just started like overhyping him. But that's England, man. They will overhype everybody.
He was good for like at least 3 years though. I maybe he just needs to
I don't know
leave
about
from
3.
Spurs.
I would say 2.
or
And
18 months.
that 2
yeah,
that 2 is a 1.5.
if you watch the Spurs documentary that was on Prime, they
Why would
did
I want to
mention
do
it.
that?
They mentioned in there that Daddy Ali don't like to train, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the problem that Mourinho is having with him.
See,
If you don't like to train, you better be damn good. You can't be a regular
be
player
average,
and don't
eh?
like to train. Yeah, you better be very good and back it up in the game. But at some point it will catch up with you because we've seen the greats that don't like to
I think
train and they end
sometimes
up
maybe
nowhere.
they
Look
give
at
a
look at look at
little bit of speed.
Ronaldinho.
Yeah, he career didn't last.
Yeah,
that
look at
long.
Ronaldinho. Look at Rubinho. Rubinho he's like the party too, and he just like figured it out like that.
It tends to be a very common theme with the Brazilian players,
But they did say that in Brazil they play for the after party though.
well,
I mean,
this
that's
is
how they
not
play. That's
Brazil.
how they play the game.
Yeah. Anyway, we will go ahead. Let me go ahead and read some of the scores from England from this week's set of games. Spurs actually won at home for the first time in a long time, 2-0. They beat West Brom. Wolves and City and Leicester City was 0-0. Chelsea beat Sheffield United away 2-1. And that's it. My daughters are making some crazy noise over there. I don't know if you can hear any part.
It's okay. It makes the pod sound good.
Yeah. And so and also I'll go ahead and read the top 40 in England. Manchester City is number 1 with 22 games played. They got a game in hand with 50 points. Manchester United with 45 points on 23 games played. Leicester City is still hanging in there with 43, and Liverpool are 10 points behind. I think they're totally out of the title race now with 23 games played. So Chelsea
Well,
in
except
fifth.
City becomes City when they get it back into the Champions League though. and somebody could get a jump on them because City stumbles when they get into the Champions League.
They stumble in the Champions League. City usually don't stumble when they got ahead of steam in the regular league though.
That's too wide a gap. Maybe it's possible. That's only 3 games.
Yeah,
three and a half
but
games.
shouldn't the concentration be the Champions League? I mean,
It usually is, and it's still faltered there. It doesn't really make a difference.
I
They just
think
haven't been.
looking at this season, I have the feeling with their current position, I think Pep is probably going to focus on the league.
He should, because he's
I
not
mean, it
winning the
looks more
Champions League.
realistic, yeah.
Yeah, who the guy in the next round of Champions League before we do our prediction?
Hold on, let me see who Man City got.
Why are you doing that? We were asked Mr. Drinco. He said he was going to take notes of all our prediction. Did you do that, or this is the week?
No,
This
he
is
probably
the-
didn't do it.
no, I didn't. But I mean, as we can see, I was the prediction king from the last
Oh
round.
Jesus!
We know you got two
Yeah, two
predictions
correct.
right.
Hey,
Well, I got two. I got two that was exactly the scores that I called. But the way Jerry looks at it, I think I got more than two.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Until you can come with the.
You see, he acting like an accountant trying to finger the number term of the wage.
you ain't got proof, man.
Yeah.
You're not taking the crown.
Hey, but I did predict the Arsenal game though. And I
You
predicted the
predicted
early
everything.
goal.
You
And
predicted
I
early
predicted
goal,
the
what
one
is
to
the
predict.
I think every week
Drinko,
you're going to
before you
predict
go over
Arsenal
the
lose.
prediction, they actually got, let me just say they got, what's the name? Mönchengladbach.
That's an
Mönchengladbach,
easy game for them.
that's who they got. And
That's run
no,
assistant.
Mönchengladbach plays some real good ball.
Man, they played some real good ball early on, and then it faltered
in the group
that
stage,
group
though.
round.
They're not going to
They
beat
played
City
early
on
on,
here.
and
So,
it
I mean,
faltered.
anything can happen. So, but City been really bad luck in the Champions League too, though. It's on a physical team and can beat them sometimes.
Good for Pep.
Hey, it's football, man. Let's wait and see what happens.
First game of the weekend of the round. Game week 23 for some people and 24 for some other teams. Leicester City at home tomorrow morning early to Liverpool. Al,
Oh, nice.
Leicester and Liverpool.
Who's
These
playing
two
where?
teams lost their game last on this
Leicester
one weekend,
home.
Okay.
right? I think Pep is going to look for a rebound. I know they're struggling right now, to be
I
honest.
said Liverpool,
Pep,
my man.
Liverpool, not City.
Oh, man. All right.
And Pep won last week, by the way, with a rebound.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm looking at Liverpool. I don't know why I
Club. You're looking
said
at
that.
club.
Yeah, Klopp
Club.
and Brandon both lost their games last weekend, so it's gonna be a hard-fought match, though. Oh man,
You give us a prediction today, or
no, tomorrow, man.
He's going off the head again.
Let's go. I am gonna go off the head. No lie on this one. I'm going with Liverpool 1-0.
what about you, Ty?
I'm going with Liverpool 2-1.
What about you, Drinko?
Hey, I think Liverpool bounced back from the trashing that City gave them, and they win the game 2-1.
I'll go 1-1. I think Leicester will put up a fight. 1-1. All right. The next game is Palace at home to Burnley.
Okay.
Al?
Palace to Burnley. I'm going with 0-0, man. I don't know who's gonna win that game. I'm serious.
You just guessing.
Ty, who you think gonna win that?
I'm going with Burnley. Burnley's going to win the game 2-1. Ashley Barnes will get on the score sheet.
Okay. Janko?
Hey, Palace is missing Zaha, and I don't think Mateta is gonna fill Zaha's shoes. So I think that's a 1-1 game.
Yeah, I will go with 1-0 to Palace just because it's Palace.
You always do. I don't know what you see in Palace, dude.
My old man Roy Hodgson is there. I'm giving him emotional support.
Oh, okay.
Even though he need to
It
retire.
will soon fire him.
Okay, this is one of the biggest game of the weekend tomorrow, 12:30. Manchester City at home to Spurs.
3-0. City.
Oof. Ty?
A quick one.
You know why you laughing? Let me go to Drinko because
Welcome to me, Ida.
I'm sorry, man. I was gonna ask Al if it was his hatred for Spurs or if he's looking at a game.
It's a little bit of both.
I came from nowhere with a 3-0. Jesus.
So it's a little bit of both.
Okay, so come back to the game prediction. Mourinho win and try to attack in the FA Cup
Yeah.
instead of defending because Drinko being crying for him to defend to attack. He went to attack and still lost. He's still
Yes.
shifting goals. His team suffering from a crisis of confidence right now. I think he's gonna come back and set up the same way, try to defend again to limit to limit the
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 damage.
damage. Yeah, to limit
Yeah.
the damage. And just spring on a counter attack. Spring on a counter attack. That's what they're gonna try to do tomorrow. But the way I see this game going, City's gonna win this game 2-1. I've got 3-2-1 scores now.
Oh
2-1.
no, you're on a roll. What about you, Jenko? What do you think?
Hey, City is at home. Spurs is having a bad run.
Hurricanes back though.
City need to be expensive. Not City, but Spurs. Spurs need to be expensive.
I-
But that didn't work well for them in the FA Cup. Like Tyrone said, Everton has spluttered that back line, and they couldn't get back in time once they came up the field. I think City wins 3-2. On the side note, though, Spurs have won twice against City since
Yeah, see what
Jose
you
took over.
See what you said. See what you guys signed on that Liverpool have been beating City and Liverpool now taking 3-1.
No, but he didn't bring that.
He brought it up. He
He
brought it up
did,
last
he
week.
did.
No, I mean today when he came, he didn't bring it out.
Yeah, but of course,
City,
of
City
course.
wins. City wins. City wins 3-2. 3-2.
I'm going
I
with
think Spurs
Manchester.
got some goals.
I think it's 2-1. It's gonna be a 2-1 game. At Brighton at home to Aston Villa.
Villa is on some form.
They just beat one of them. They been bad. They just beat us by song and
I
a
mean,
float.
yeah. So
No form. They've been terrible.
but anyway, Villa, I'm gonna go 2-1 to Brighton.
All right. Ty,
Yeah, I think you're along with me. I'm gonna go 1-0 to Brighton.
Drinko?
Villa has owned Brighton on their own home turf. They won the last 4 meetings there when they play at Brighton. But Brighton have shown some form lately, though. Winning 3 and drawing 2. I think this is gonna end 2-2.
I like the amount of research Drinko is putting into this. I mean,
The man,
it's-
the man not
it's-
guessing. The man
it's-
giving you,
it's-
But
yeah.
here's
the man
the
giving you
thing,
educated
I'm laughing
answers.
because
I know
it's kind of funny because I'm sitting here thinking, is this man think this is speed where every game you comparing the result from the last game to
Hey,
yeah.
that's analysis.
Yeah,
You gotta put historical,
Yeah,
you gotta put
so.
historical data in there.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
Brighton
Well,
come
I'm
and
going-
if
I'm
Brighton
going-
come and play the way they play against Spurs, they win that game, man.
Yeah, I
Goals
think
in it.
I'm going with Brighton. I went Brighton 1-0. I think Villa's just been bad recently. Arsenal can just Arsenal things up. So I don't know how they got that win against it. It makes no sense. Sunday morning, Southampton at home to Wolves.
Wolves. Wolves wasn't impressive.
I think
Go ahead.
I can just predict the team that he don't like. He just put it on there.
That much.
Yes, I mean no. Well, my prediction is they favor having certain teams and then maybe certain players that I feel that would do
You
something.
don't need to justify your team, man. The man
But,
bring historical data. Go your history.
But my history always be close, you know. I'm gonna go with Southampton on this one. I don't think Wolf is the same Wolf. Regardless of 1 or 2 lucky win here and there. Southampton 2-0.
Ty?
Wolves has been on a bad run of form. They brought in this William Jose guy, and they took my boy out, my boy Fabio. They took him out, and they play worse. I'm trying to tell you. And Southampton is still suffering from the injury crisis. So who knows how it will turn out tomorrow? But I'm gonna give Wolves the edge in this one. 1-0.
Drinko?
Hey, both teams are having a bad run. Southampton lost the last 5. Wolves, they won 1, they drew 2, they lost 2. Wolves win this game 2-0.
Good analysis, man. I'm impressed. I'm just gonna wing it like I always do.
Talk about our hatred.
Everybody got a mental. Draco is historical data versus with trends. I strictly bet on hatred. Me, I go with We're winging it and sensationalization. I'm going to go with Southampton. I think they'll muster some kind of form at home with a 1-0 win. The next game is West Brom at home to Manchester United. This should be easy.
Yeah, United has been, 2 out of 5, but I haven't seen anything from Big Sam. I still think he shouldn't be coaching a football team.
When the
So
man came back into the league, you're like, yeah, Big Sam.
No, he
is-
didn't. No, he didn't. No, he
no,
didn't.
no,
He was. He was. He
Al?
was hit.
That
Oh no,
me and Tyler.
that
That me
that
and
I was
Tyler.
not Al.
no, I said it's still up from the back.
That's scouting myself. Who are like,
Oh,
Big
okay,
Sam
He's
I
don't
never
thought-
been
control them.
relegated.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Al.
I said it's straight
Sorry,
off the bat. He shouldn't be coaching. The football has passed him a long time ago.
Yeah,
But
I'll be
I'm
his
going
case.
with Ole. Ole and his boys gonna stamp on them, run all over them. I'm looking at a 3-0 win.
Mhm. Right there with you, Tito. 3-0. That was my scoreline.
Drinco?
I think United wins 3-1. West Brom are having a bad run of form, and they currently sit at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, I'm going with 3-0 too. I don't think they're gonna score set. Sunday 11:30, Arsenal at home to Leeds United. Let me start with Drinko.
Oh,
Get him out of the way.
oh, this is gonna be good next week. I'll be here for next week's show.
No, there's no Thomas. There's no
guys-
Thomas Partey. There's no Tierney.
You guys ignore
So,
my text. You guys ignore my text during the week though when Leeds took over Arsenal on the table. Last time
Oh,
when,
wow.
when Arsenal took over Leeds, we heard about it.
Who brought that
Arsenal
up?
took over Leeds, we heard about it. But when Leeds took over Arsenal, we didn't hear about it. Even though I tried to remind you guys completely ignore it. That's okay.
You
That's
can't
okay.
score, please.
Because tomorrow we're gonna advance even further up the table than you guys.
It's
will be.
Sunday, not tomorrow.
Oh, Sunday. We're gonna advance further up the table than you guys gonna be. So Leeds is in 10th place, Arsenal is in 11th place. We gotta get that clear. Leeds is above Arsenal on the table.
Okay,
so I think-
11 me.
I think Leeds high energy though will be too much for the Gunners to handle. Leeds win that game 2-1.
All right, time.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going with heart and head yet. I'm going with strictly logic on what I'm seeing. Leeds run around a lot, but Arsenal got things in the when I say things in the attack, I'm talking about Saka. I'm talking about the new boy, Odegaard. I think Arteta gonna give him a start this game just based on how he played last week. I like his poise, I like his calm, detecting things out there. So it'll be up and down. They will push Arsenal, but I think this game will end up 2-2.
Okay.
Straight off the bat, we're gonna win a game.
Just so you know, Tarrant 2-2 still put Leeds above Arsenal on the table. Go ahead, Al.
Okay. But anyway, I know we got Partey is not going to feature, and we still got Tierney still not back yet. But I'm hearing I think what's his name, Florent Bologna, or how he pronounces
Balogun.
Balogun. I think he's going to
striker.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be in the squad.
Why?
I heard something. I could be wrong, but I think I heard his name mentioned in our Arteta press conference or something like that. But yeah, we the midfield is a little bit of worry because of the speed.
School.
No, man. Hey,
analysis.
Yeah, I mean, hold on.
That analysis is a prediction. I don't know how we started.
Dude, everybody man, give me analysis. Let me do my thing.
Go ahead.
But anyway, I was saying, I mean that the speed of Leeds is a little worrying for me a little bit because we don't have the stopper there to kind of slow them down a little bit. So that's the only thing I'm thinking of. Other than that, we have to make sure somebody stay with Rafinha. But I still think we're gonna win a game. We're gonna beat them. I'm looking at like a 2-1 score line here.
But why you want somebody to steal Rafinha? Rafinha's not the focal point of the people team.
He's good if you.
And from the last game, he was Lee's best player in the last.
Yeah,
he's great.
We still got a couple of games.
He's okay. He's very, so if you're not,
he's good. I know we got a couple of games, but I just want to point out something. He's good, but you know who makes that team tick and they don't get the credit? Kevin Phillips.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, but I'm looking at him in terms of our defense because we don't have somebody to slow that game up,
I
cut
think
the balls. That's what I'm
I
Don't
think
looking
worry.
Phillips and Dallas are the key to Leeds United.
Phillips make the team. Phillips remind me of Eric Tinkler in South Africa '96. The dude passing range is off the charts.
All right. Great analysis. 3-2 to Arsenal.
3-1.
3-2. 5 goals.
So Arsenal
3-2.
winning. Okay.
Yeah,
We just want to hear it properly.
But
Don't
you
be.
say
I
Arsenal,
said
you say
3-2.
Arsenal
I
winning
didn't.
3-2.
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him.
I didn't write
I said
anything down tonight, but I gotta write that.
Gonna be a lot of goals in the
When
game.
you go and listen, when you go re-listen, take all the predictions down. The next game on the schedule is Everton Fulham.
Oh.
I'll
Yeah.
go with Everton on this one. I mean, I think they're going. I know Fulham been trying to play good a little bit, but Fulham, Everton is going to beat them. Let's go with a 2-0.
Yeah.
Drinco?
Oh, sorry. I thought
Everton have won the last 14 home game against Fulham. If Fulham can get some set pieces, again, that's Everton's weak point. They might be able to create some chances. But I think Everton still win the game 2-1.
Okay, start DNA.
okay, Drinko. We getting
What-
you getting a little carried away with these.
What about you?
This is the Premier League. All that stuff you talking about from game to game stuff. I'm
Hey,
having.
man,
Acting like this season not strange at all. Yeah,
Go
man.
home at Will. It ain't playing for the
we
MVP.
praise the dude small. He getting carried
Hey,
away.
man. I brought some structure to this thing. Let's go.
Yeah, man, please. Please. So yeah, Fulham, they try to get on a good run of form, but the attackers, Abubakar, there's a guy named Adebayo, the guy who up top there who always flubbing their chances.
Yeah, Adebayo.
Adebayo and Lookman, everybody up there playing hero ball. They're playing for themselves. That's why they can't generate nothing like cohesive. But in this game, I believe Everton will beat them. 2-0, not 2-1, 2-0.
All right.
Why you got disputed 2-1? Because I said 2-1?
Nah, because
also-
I've been saying 2-1 for a lot of games. That's why.
I'm gonna go 1-0 to Everton. On Monday, we have West Ham versus Sheffield United.
The Hammers.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Hammers. I am going with a 2-0 to West Ham.
Aye?
Going with 1-0 to West Ham.
We can't
Nice.
hear you.
Yeah.
1-0 to West Ham.
All right, Drinko.
I think West Ham win the game 2-0. Sheffield United is in the bottom of the table. And I think West Ham is playing pretty well this season.
They started defending better though.
I'm going with 2-0 to West Ham. I think West Ham continue their farm form. And the last game of the round, Chelsea versus Brazil, aka Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly.
What you got?
I'm going to go with Newcastle on this one. I think Newcastle will, again.
Strictly hit.
No, I mean, I think my boy Joe Willock, the way they use him in that team, I think
God.
Joe Willock scored in the last game, his debut. So
God.
I think he's going to, do something. So I'm going to go with, even though, what they need to, how you pronounce that guy's name?
Thomas
Too
Tuchel.
cold.
Tuchel.
You got somebody that got coffee in your throat. Too cold.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I ain't got no coffee in my
Everybody
So
says
That's
it
too cold.
differently, though.
Just said too cold.
Yeah.
Too cold.
But
Too cold.
Thomas
Fine.
Tuchel,
I think maybe that's the German
I know he's
pronunciation.
been, his 1-0 win here and there and stuff. It's all good, but I think Newcastle is going to come on the day and do some of the madness that they've been doing in the past against Chelsea.
Okay.
So did I call the score?
Ain't that
You
one?
didn't.
No.
You just saw a lot of stuff.
You said 2-1?
2-1 to Newcastle.
All right.
Wow.
Drinko?
Wow. Yeah, Newcastle is always a tough nut for Chelsea to crack. But I think Chelsea going to win this game under the new boss. 2-1 to Chelsea.
Ty?
Okay. So Castle, you already know how I feel in Newcastle. If they can get relegated, I'll be cool with it. But Tuchel is not caught up into one formation. So if they start giving us problems tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday, based on how the defense is set up, I don't think they will score actually. I think we'll beat them 3-0. We've been finding problems in scoring, but something it would click. It would click.
This is when Timo get his scoring boost on, huh?
I
Ain't
know
never
the man
gonna
said it's
happen.
gonna click tomorrow.
That ain't gonna happen.
Jeffrey, you said that Timo would score. Just because you said
3-1,
that.
3-1
No, but
to
Timo,
Chelsea.
Timo, I've been looking for Timo to score, but actually he's
So
been very productive, though. Yeah,
he been playing well.
very
Just to go
productive.
back,
I
I'm like,
didn't
he
watch
playing
the
well.
last game and I didn't watch the FA
He's
Cup
been
game,
very
so I can't
productive.
say it. But I've seen his games
He
prior
been
to
playing
that.
well. He been playing
He
well.
contributed to the winning
He
goal.
be doing too much.
The Spurs game, the
It's
Spurs game,
like
he
it's
the Spurs game, he brought a penalty.
yeah,
The Sheffield game, he get an assist and then got the penalty too.
yeah. He been playing
And he got
well.
hurt.
It's like Bamford. Bamford misses a lot of goals, but Bamford played well during the entire game.
Yeah, 3-0.
I'm on 3-1 to
And
Chelsea.
Timo has scored.
I'll be
All
here
right.
on next Friday. Meet me right here, same time. We'll see
We keep the scores.
I think he's gonna score two tomorrow
All right,
On
guys.
Monday.
It was really good.
on Monday.
This episode was really fun. It was good for all the input we got. Really good episode. See you next time. If you guys got anything to say.
We're gonna dub Drinco stats, man.
Oh, his stats DNA.
Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna switch it up on you too, though. I do my homework before I come on here.
I'll tell you.
All right, guys.
Okay, man. It was nice talking to you
Well,
guys again.
All right, folks.
We are taking off. We look forward to the good game starting with tomorrow morning. I'll wake up early. Thanks for telling me about that. Actually, I didn't pay attention to the schedule.
I think that game is at 7:30.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta be up at 6 o'clock.
It's been real, folks. Let's wrap this up and get to the people.